Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to learn and practice Champagne Supernova by Oasis. First, let's take a look at what we're going to be learning today. So as you can see, this song is pretty repetitive. It's the same kind of, it's based around a single chord shape for a lot of it. And then we switch into some other basic chord shapes later on in the tune. So we're going to be breaking it down and learning this tune in a really organized way. And if you find that you enjoy learning like that, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to this channel, and you'll be able to get all my future updates and all that stuff. Also, I have a free ebook that's completely free for all my subscribers. I'm going to put a link to that in the corner so you can get your copy, and that just has all the fundamentals of acoustic guitar, developing your rhythm, building up your chord switching, all that stuff. It's in the corner. Either way, that's enough yapping. Let's start learning the tune. We start off with this shape right here. And this is the A sus2 shape. We just put our middle finger on the second fret of the D string and our ring finger just underneath it on the second fret of the G string. And we want to pay close attention to the roots because that's all that's going to change during our main progression. First we have the A string. And then we're going to put our pinky down on the third fret of the thickest string. The rest of the chord stays the same, but we have a new root note. And the underside of your pinky is going to be muting the A string. Then we're going to remove our pinky. We're going to put our index finger down on the second fret of the thickest string. That's the note F sharp. Once again, the underside is muting the A string. Then we take our index finger off. We're in the same spot that we started in, but we're going to focus on the low E string. That's our root now. So basically our root changes from A, G, on the third fret of the thickest string, F sharp, second fret, and then E, open. But the rest of the chord stays the same, and that creates this really cool airy effect. You can see I've written out the chords right there. We basically play each one 2 times. And if you want some practice switching them, I recommend just playing downstrokes only and just going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. And just counting your way through that chord progression, playing a downstroke and just counting to 4 for every chord symbol you see. And once you're good with that, we can take a look at the strumming pattern, which goes like this. The pattern goes down, root, down, down, up. And you can practice that pattern just by muting the strings and just saying out loud, down, root, down, down, up, down, root, down, down, up. And for root, just making a smaller motion. The accuracy comes with time. For now, just aim for the thicker strings as you say root, and we can work on that accuracy with our chord shapes. For the A sus2 chord, getting your thumb over the top and lightly touching the thickest string just makes it so easy because now you can just aim at the bottom and you're guaranteed to get that root note. You don't have to aim. You don't have to get all picky. You just put your, pun not intended, you just put your thumb on the thickest string and you can go down, root, down, down, up. And it's a lot simpler when you do it that way. If you feel like your fingers aren't long enough, that may be the case, but it also may be a technique thing. So, I don't have the longest fingers myself. So I recommend just getting your thumb as much as you can so that it lightly touches. It doesn't have to be like covering it, but just getting it there so it touches is going to help so much. Not essential, but it helps. Then we go to having G as our root, down, root, down, down, up. So practice that a whole bunch. Down, root, down, down, up. And here when we get to the E string, down, root, down, down, up. Really make a point of getting that note to come out, because on the recording they have a bass player and they have all these other things really emphasizing that E note to make the harmony sound right. You know, if you don't play it hard enough, it kind of sounds like you're just back to the first chord. And that is our main progression. We're going to be playing it a whole bunch, you know, throughout the tune. Let's just try it one time, just work on it with our strumming pattern 2 times per chord shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, root, down, down, up, down, root. Cool, so the song opens up playing that like 1,000 times. And then we play the second verse, we do that progression again. And then at the very end, instead of playing A sus2 over E, we switch into a regular E chord. So at the end of the second verse, going into the second chorus, we do our progression. Normally for the first 3 chords, and then we get someday you will find. And at that point, we start kicking it into some of the basic chord shapes because they have more harmony to them and they, you know, sound a lot bigger. So yeah, the second verse ends with a real E chord instead of A sus2 over E. And from there, we go into the second chorus. And for that one, it starts with an A chord 2 times. And then it goes into a G chord. Then D over F sharp. And for that, from our G chord, I like to leave my ring finger down. I get my index finger on the second fret of the thickest string, and then I put my middle finger on the second fret of the G string. So just work that switch if you're not familiar with it. And then we go into an E chord. And that's the second chorus and every chorus from here on out. Let's try that together with our strumming pattern 2 times per shape, starting on A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Champagne supernova in the sky. And the second chorus is followed by the bridge. The bridge starts off with G 4 times, A 4 times, and then G 2 times, D 2 times, and E 4 times. So there's no new chord shapes here. Let's just try it with our strumming pattern starting on G. 1, 2, 3, 'cause people believe that they're gonna get away for the summer. But you and I live and die. The world keeps spinning round. We don't know why. And then we have a solo section. And in the solo section, things get a little bit different. It starts off the same way as the chorus, but instead of going down to the E chord, we go F, G. For F, we can do the bar chord. And if you're interested in that, I have a course, Bar Chords Made Easy, that'll help you get into that bar chord. Or we can do it in a really simple way, where we skip the first string, put our index finger on the first fret of the B string, our middle finger on the second fret of the G string, our pinky finger on the third fret of the D string, ring finger just above it, third fret of the A string, and then my thumb is lightly muting the thickest string, and the underside of my first finger is lightly muting the thinnest string. Almost sounds exactly like the F bar chord, so that's a really good voicing, and it's a lot simpler. I'm going to play through this section now just so you can see how it goes. We play our progression 4 times and then we end it with more F, G. I'll show you. 2, 3, 4. And we just repeat it like that 4 times, doing that entire progression. Let's pretend that this is the 4th time. We add the F, G 2 more times. So yeah, we do that progression 4 times, and then the last time you add a couple extra F, G, like I just did. And then there's an outro, and the outro goes like this. So we start our main progression, and then at the end, instead of going to A sus2 over E, we go F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, and we just let it ring out, and that's the song. So at this point, we've gone over all the little bits that make up this tune. Let's figure out how we would put it all together, you know, the order of all the parts. I want you to write this all down. It's really important that you take a look at that and you listen to the original recording. This recording's like 7.5 minutes long or something like that. And you know, keep your finger on it and you go through it as you're listening and make sure that you know where you're at within the tune. You know, that's a really good way to get through a really long song like this and to like know where you are and to be in charge of the song. You could also print the lyrics and have both of those going at once. That's a really good way to make it through. I find with just the lyrics, you're missing all those little instrumental sections properly, you know. Anyways, if you want, I have a full playthrough of this on my Patreon page where we play through the whole song start to finish a little bit slower than the original recording. And, you know, I do it with the chords and lyrics at the top of the screen, and I do it with a metronome so we can, you know, practice playing it slow and steady. That's available on my Patreon page. I'm going to put a link down below for that. Don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook, and I'll put that in the corner. It goes over all the fundamentals. I also have my complete beginner's course, which does that, but like 100 times over, taking you from absolute beginner to confident strummer in a step-by-step way, you know, just going through all the fundamentals and getting your rhythm rock solid, your chord switching, all that stuff. So please check that out. That's also the best way to help support the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy learning with me. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.